I am always looking for ways to find time to do watercolor painting and embroidery in my life. You might know me from my recent video that kind of took off. That was about my situation, let's call it that, with someone questioning my use of CansonXL watercolor paper. So I do make art in this video, but it's kind of just a walkthrough of what my days are like, and we just do some regular everyday things together. So if this is something that appeals to you, please do watch and give it a try. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below, so please do say hi, just drop an emoji. If you don't know what to write, I would really appreciate that. This is just like a chatty, relaxed video, so grab your hot drink and settle in for some downtime with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I've never posted too many art vlogs here, so it's kind of a mix up of my art practice, but also just my days in the life as like a regular person. Well, you'll see. Good morning, how's everybody doing? Boy, have I got a health story for you guys. This is a crisis situation that just happened to me. So in case it happens to you, I wanted to give you all the details of what happened. But what I'm also doing at the same time is I'm gonna be washing my makeup brushes. So for that, I need just a touch of baking soda and a bit of Dawn. And what I do is I make up a mixture in here, just a little bit of Dawn, maybe like a teaspoon, and then a little bit of baking soda. That was too much, but that's okay. I'll just add a bit more Dawn. So I put these things together and then I just add a touch of water. Then it's very simple. You just take your brush and you dip it in there and you start cleaning them basically. So what happened to me the other day, a few nights ago, I realized I'd been using the wrong contact lenses, like a pair of contact lenses that I meant to throw out. Somehow I took them out of my bag and I put them back without thinking. Germy, right? So I meant to throw these contact lenses out, but I accidentally wore them all day and realized it at the night, like, oh my God, why do I have two contact lenses here? Two contact lens cases here. Okay, because one of them was meant to go to the garbage. So I was like, oh my God, that's not good. Okay, fine. The next morning, don't I wake up with this eye just so sore, so incredibly painful. It's watering. I can barely open it. It's stinging like crazy, like the worst pain, so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? I've never had pain like this in my eye before, like ever. I had to like work, of course, that morning, and I have like all these important emails that I've got to answer coming in, but I can't see out of this eye and it's like streaming liquid. And I'm like, I need to like look this up and see how urgent maybe this situation is. So don't I go online and I'm seeing like, and I'm like kind of putting in the details. I wore a pair of old contact lenses. Everything is telling me basically I've given myself some sort of eye infection and it could be very, very dangerous. And within hours, I could have like compromised my vision permanently. Okay, so let me change the angle a little bit for you guys as I just wash off these brushes now. Okay, so what happened then was that I am quickly looking for like an optometrist near me that's maybe open like right now, because obviously this seems to be like an urgent situation. And I'm not even sure an optometrist treats like this kind of eye condition, or if they can look and see what's going on, whether it's like a terrible infection. I have no idea, but I'm like, you know what? I have a few optometrists within very close walking distance to me. So I'm gonna see if anybody's open and they can take me as a new patient, because I'm not even a patient of any of these optometrists, because my optometrist is a little further in the other direction. But anyway, so I find a doctor near me who is open, and luckily she has a receptionist who answers. When you guys are cleaning, I mean, I don't want to go onto my bare hands because I find this mixture is a bit drying, but you'll see here, I just do this to get the makeup out, and I just keep going and I rinse it. And anyway, I find an optometrist, I get an appointment. And have you been to the optometrist lately? Like the one I go to is very bare bones. It's like not expensive to get my prescription, but also there's just not a lot of equipment. But have you been to a modern optometrist lately? They have so much equipment, it's crazy. They scan my eyeballs with so many different machines. I feel like I had my eyes scanned by like 3 different machines where I got like really close up and they like took pictures of everything in my eye. They pulled down my lids to like take pictures of that as well. I was just mostly though glad that the optometrist, like if I did have an infection, she could diagnose it, because I did not want to have to go to like an emergency room that has an eye clinic. Ooh, look how dark that is. And get that done there. I mean, this is a big city. You can be in an ER waiting a very long time at an emergency room, especially if it's something like your eyes just watering.
you know, you might be sitting there for hours. So I was just grateful that the optometrist could take me. So she looks at everything. She's like doing a really thorough exam with all her different machines that look very expensive. She even has an assistant helping her. So she's seeing like multiple patients at the same time, but she does see me. She takes me into her room and she takes a closer look. And she just asked me some questions about like what had happened with the contact lenses. All this to say, you know what it was? Dry eye. Dry eye, yeah, which is good. Which is good. So I'm just telling you, maybe don't panic if this happens to you, or maybe panic. I don't know. I don't know what the takeaway here is, except that I was diagnosed with dry eye and I was sent home with $38 eye drops, and that's fine. So I have to put them in every hour, and I had to pay $190 for the exam. Okay, which is fine. Maybe some of it's going to be covered under vision care. You guys know I'm Canadian, so we have covered healthcare, but optometry is not covered. So you either pay out of pocket or you use maybe like your work drug plan to cover it. So yeah, so 190 plus the $38 eye drops to find out that my eye is just dry. However, I guess the upside is she gave me lots of like things that I can do. She has like some more procedures like lasers, like to help you with your dry. I'm not doing that. But there's some like at-home remedy type stuff, which is like taking omega-3s and like better eye hygiene. There's like products you can use that are optometrist approved to like clean out the area. And I'm happy to tell you that since I started using the eye drops every hour, which I have to do for a week, my eyes have been fine. So thank goodness for that. But what a huge ordeal. I was so panicked when I thought I was going to possibly like lose my vision. And that, my friends, is the perils of using Dr. Google to try and figure out what's going on with your eyes. I am just lucky that she could see me the same day. I didn't have to go to the ER. I'm lucky that this condition has resolved with just relatively inexpensive eye drops. And not so happy that I have like basically dry eyes. That'll probably just get worse as I age. But at least now I know. I know what it was. So yeah, that was my health crisis. Okay, I'm gonna finish rinsing these off now. I've tried all kinds of things and I find this just genuinely to be the thing that gets like long wear foundation out. So again, just Dawn or your whatever dish soap and a bit of baking soda, like maybe a teaspoon of each one and a little bit of water as well. And it gets them really clean. This was not a long wear foundation in there, but even if it was long wear, you'll see now they're coming out. It's coming out clean and there's no makeup left. Once you do this, and these are relatively nice, safe ingredients, you know. Dish soap is a food grade thing and obviously baking soda is something that you eat. So then I just finish rinsing them and I just let them dry. And that's how I clean my makeup brushes. I'll just rub and rub until I see that that is relatively clear of makeup. Must warn you though, sometimes the baking powder does dry. If you haven't rinsed it very well, you'll get a little bit of encrustment of baking. Sorry, I keep saying baking powder, it's baking soda. So you want to just make sure you rinse it really thoroughly. So when they're all good and clean and rinsed off, they should look like this. There shouldn't be any makeup on them. What I do is I just clean off the ledge, make sure that that is clean on the side of my microwave, and I will just hang the bristles over the edge so that they'll dry here. Then I'll just pick them up a little later on in the day after they are dried. So my other more pressing, just kidding, situation is that my hair has now reached that awkward length. If you've had a long bob or you're like a bob person in general, you have probably dealt with this before, which is that you quickly get to a length where it just is puffy in the weirdest places, and it gets, when it hits your shoulders, it all just sits there and spreads and it gives you a real triangle look, which I despise. I hate that look. So I'm just gonna throw in a couple curls and see if that helps. This is my inexpensive Conair curler. I have them in all kinds of different sizes. And is it the best quality? No, it is not. But is it adequate? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And because they're inexpensive, I can have them in a bunch of sizes. Like honestly, each of these is around 20 bucks. And I have like 4 different sizes for when my hair is different lengths. So I think this is the largest one that I own. And I'm not gonna go too crazy here. But just to keep this from, because you see it's like wanting to go in like this and then it gives me this real triangle look. So I'm trying to, I'm just trying to curl up the ends a bit so they don't sit quite like that. So I don't know.
Do I keep growing my hair or do we bring it back up to a bob? I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I'll tell you what I don't want to do. I don't really want to go to the hairdresser right now and sit there for an hour. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. No, I'm not gonna stop there because I can see this one is wanting to turn into a triangle. So just do this. Honestly, shorter hair is so much more work than long hair. When you have long hair, there's just very little really that you can do style-wise. Shorter hair just requires, I think, more maintenance. So I may just listen to what I've just said and let it keep growing. We'll see. But I think I do need a trim, which I will not be doing right now, maybe in a few weeks. All right, please don't look too closely behind me. I've been doing meal prep for lunch and for dinner, and it looks like I've exploded the kitchen. Look at my hair, it went back to a triangle shape. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but guess what I gotta do right now? Put in my $38 eye drops. These are called Theolo's Duo, and they're French, so I don't know. So now I can just look like I'm crying on screen. That is not great. You know what I have not done yet though? I have not had a chance to go outside. So let's go and do that. If I look like my eyes are streaming liquid, that's because they are. It's the eye drops. If you ever are considering coming here, this is like, September's the month. September's definitely the month. It's so nice. We just get the best weather. So let's have a look. Oh, it's a nice day. What I would have done for great weather like this summer, because the summer was too hot, really too hot. Oh, it's beautiful. What a nice day. Just a very quick outfit of the day. Let me move this wagon out of the way. I'm sorry that my video wardrobe's not more exciting, people, but you know, I wear the same clothes a lot of the time. I just have my comfy favorites. So I've got these, I think they're Citizen jeans I thrifted for like $12. I got like 2 pairs of them. Maybe it was more than $12. I can't remember the price, but it was low. Whoever dropped these jeans in, they dropped in an identical pair as well, and they've got a cute little bootleg thing going on, which modernizes them a little bit because, you know, skinny jeans theoretically are out, but I still wear skinny jeans. But when I saw these though, I'm like, I want those, and it's very hard for me to find jeans. And then underneath, just a little tank top. Got my sun hat on still because we're getting a very bright, beautiful sunny day. And another thrifted shirt. I think actually everything I'm wearing is thrifted. Very nice out here, but you can see that things are going to start to turn over now. We're going to start getting actual fall foliage coming. Not quite yet. So as I record this, this is mid-September. So in about a month or so, things will start to get orange and red and all those beautiful colors. But right now it's still green, but kind of crispy looking. So that's where it's at right now. All right, no rest for the wicked. I must go back inside, finish up work for the morning. I'm having a light day, but I'm needing to get through some continuing education classes online. So I'm just going to do that. And then being that it's a Friday, hopefully finish work a little early. I'm now taking a little bit of a break for lunch. I'm having like the simplest sandwich you can imagine. Oh my gosh, this seat is quite low. Let me bring you in closer and lower you guys a little bit. Which is just a little jambon beurre, as they say, which is a ham and butter on challah bread, which is like a Jewish egg bread, basically, and just a really simple salad on the side. Oh, it feels good to relax and still enjoy the nice weather. The sandwich is literally just buttered bread with some nice fresh ham in it and just a bit of a salad on the side. It reminds me of my lunch bag. In my school years, my mom would always pack me like a ham and butter sandwich. And it's just like simple, delicate flavors. Very good. Because normally I'm someone who I enjoy sandwich stuff full of things, and this is not it, but very enjoyable nonetheless. Okay, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who helped me with my Gap sponsorship a couple vlogs ago. So I've had actually some questions from and comments from friends and from you guys. And if you don't know me, and this is going to sound weird, but hi, my name's Helen. I am a writer and content creator based in Toronto, and I do vlogs and product reviews. So a couple of vlogs ago, I was talking about some new Gap items that are out, and they've got a whole bunch of new jeans on the go, and I picked out a few items that I thought were really cute, and I got paid just to talk about some things that I liked. All I had to do was pick 3 items, have links to them, and I had to drive a certain small number of links, and they didn't ask for approvals or anything like that, which was amazing, because it is very stressful to make a video and then need to get it approved, and then maybe the sponsors want to change the messaging that you've given, or they're not happy with some part of it. So I didn't even have to do any of that. They were just so easy to work with. So So that was fantastic. That was kind of like, I'm not going to say it's a dream come true, but the Gap is great. Like the only sponsorship type stuff I usually get are very scammy hair loss related or LED device stuff. And I don't want to promote that kind of stuff to you guys. I could have made thousands doing that. I just have chosen not to. So, so with Gap, you know, the amount of money wasn't a huge amount of money, but like fantastic. I enjoyed that so much because I love picking out like clothes and things like that to share with people. So that was pretty amazing. So I wanted to say thank you guys to all of you. And there were a lot of you who clicked on the links. So thank you for doing that. Hopefully I can work again with Gap in the future. And I'm not getting paid to say this, but they have really great pajamas and really great coats. I think jeans in general are just tricky to find. If you can find a pair of jeans at the Gap, great, because their prices are good and they always have good sales. But like coats for the fall, they do amazing. And pajamas, they do like natural fibers. Like I don't like modal pajamas. Those are just kind of, those are the ones you see so much of, like with the white piping. I don't love those. I find the fabric too clingy, but what I love about Gap is they have like cotton and they have like linen, and it's not just that horrible synthetic blend stuff that you see everywhere else. And then they do all the different sizing, like the petite, the tall, the plus sizing. So I can really get behind them. Like I 100% stand behind everything that I said about the Gap in that video. So thank you for helping me out with that. I really appreciate you guys. That really helped to fulfill something I've always wanted to do in a vlog. So I finally got to do it. So cheers. Just taking a moment to sit down and do a little bit of watercolor today. I've been trying now to make a practice because I'm finding it really hard to carve out a whole half a day to do art, but just to sit down and do a little bit of nature journaling. I did a hydrangea leaf, and I'm going to be working on this flower that I saw with my friend when we were out for lunch the other day. If you have an iPhone and you take a picture and you press this I button here, it will tell you what it is. So this is apparently something called a rock trumpet, which I've never even heard of. I did not know about that flower. And look what I've done here. Just a small addition, but so helpful. A friend of mine gave me this dish drying rack that I think comes from IKEA. And she had it was like a roadside find kind of thing. And it's so great for like just holding my different sketchbooks. So I'm just gonna get to, oh, and I've got this oil that's 90% dry, but I'm just letting it catch some air right there and cure. And I'm just gonna work on this, and then I've gotta head out for exercise class. So I have a good little 15-minute stretch here. Don't worry, we're not gonna go through that bit by bit, but I'll do like a sped up thing and show you what I'm working on today. Right, we finally made it to the great outdoors. This is in my neighborhood. I'm walking now to a class, but just thought I would pop on and say hi to you guys and just show you what a beautiful day it is out here. Some change, from the last vlog, because it was very rainy in that one. So I'm gonna confess a little secret, which is that I have not been doing that much art lately. I don't know what it is. I'm just, like I said, trying to do journaling. I'm so not drawn to it, and I'm a little worried. And I always have this sort of like existential crisis about it. Oh, look how pretty these flowers are, cosmos. Very nice, right? It makes me very angsty because I've invested so much time, effort, and skill into learning this. And so when I'm feeling not interested, I start to worry that I'm not ever going to be interested in it again. Sorry, I'm just looking around at things that people are leaving on the curb. Those are just some coffee pods. And it kind of makes me nervous, and I don't know why. That's so ridiculous. And the whole reason I'm doing it is for fun. It's supposed to be for fun. It's not supposed to be another make-do thing, like another thing on my to-do list to check off. So I'm just trying to like reconnect with the parts of it that I like. It sounds so flaky. What a ridiculous problem to have. But I don't know. I kind of almost took it on as like an identity. I'm an art hobbyist. That's who I am. And I guess I still am. But I don't know, some of the passion is not there. And I guess that's fine, that's normal too. So many great flowers still out. These are so pretty. Let's have a further back look. I'd like to draw these. So I guess maybe I'm wrong, maybe I am still into art. I just don't feel inspired. And then look, more cosmos in this garden. And a faded rose bloom. Okay, maybe what my problem is that I need to get out more for nature walks where I look at the flowers and then I feel inspired, because I almost feel like taking back what I just said. So I'm finally getting to do the thing that I've wanted to do all day, which is sit down and do a little bit of embroidery. This is typically my favorite point of the day, and some days I get to do more than others. One thing I'm noticing though is that I can't see that well inside. My house is so dark, but I feel like the amount of time I have to keep embroidering outside is sort of starting to close in on me. So I'm trying to like make hay while the sun shines, so to speak, and work on this, which I have been working on for ages now. I feel like I will be working on this project for months and months to come. So just before I settle in here for a nice embroidery session, I have about 30 minutes before I gotta get dinner on the go. I wanted to tell you about something that someone mentioned to me and I've been meaning to tell you guys about, but I keep forgetting. And that is that you should check out your Libby app if you're a public library user. And I was just popping in there myself because I wanted to research it before I started telling you guys, check out your Libby app. And the cool thing about the Libby app is that your library probably is connected to it, like very, very high likelihood. I checked out like all the major Canadian cities. I checked out like Miami, for you guys in the US, I think Boston. A lot of universities are connected to the Libby app. Like, and what am I even talking about? Okay, I'll just put this aside for now because this is important, okay? We're talking about free ebooks. So if you download the Libby app, or you can even just check online, here it is. So you just open it up and you take out books. You take out all the ebooks that you want. You can also get magazines, like I get the New Yorker every week, and it just refreshes it for me. So it just kind of like automatically borrows the New Yorker for me. I don't even have to think about it. So it's like having a magazine subscription, albeit through my phone or through my e-reader, but what a game changer. So I'm back reading magazines. I kind of, not gonna lie, kind of given up on really getting heavily back into magazines, despite the fact that I am a magazine writer. But the Libby app has got me way back into them. I'm reading like Vogue's September issue and just you name it. So it's been fun to rediscover and really just honestly get me off the doom scroll because things have been dire. I'm sure you guys have noticed how dark it feels out there right now. But let me tell you, if you need to isolate yourself from all of that, I really think that e-reading is the way to go. Or not e-reading necessarily, but book reading. But the problem with books now, I'm finding, is that my eyesight is not what it was, and I just can't predict on the size of the text. And even with reading glasses, my eyes feel strained compared to using an e-reader. I just like with the e-reader, you can change the font so easily. So I am now an e-reader devotee. Look at this. Did I show you guys this? I've got my scissors on an old work lanyard. So I just snip and go. Yeah, I reached the max embroidery nerd level. Okay, with that said, I'm just gonna have a little quiet time here alone. I'm gonna do a little bit of embroidery, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. There's nothing more relaxing than spending a day, or part of an afternoon anyway, being outside and embroidering. It really is just such a pushback against productivity culture. It just goes so slowly compared to watercolor, but I do cherish that about this particular art. And it's now Saturday. I had time to bring down my table into my garden. I'm lucky to have this quite flat garden that can be shady. So being that it is a day off, I brought this down here to do a little bit of sketching and painting in the shade. It's just such a lovely time of year to be outside. And I'm going in here with my Roman Schmal paints. This is, I want to call that Van Dyke Brown. And I'm just sketching something. I don't know if you can see my phone over there, but just, you know, a picture that I took from my garden. And then I'm going to go in with some Winsor & Newton permanent rose and just quickly dash in some paint on these petals of something that I just quickly drew. And I used a micron fine liner, I think, on this because it's got those waterproof qualities. And I'm just going in with a bit more permanent rose here using a filbert that I have from Winsor & Newton. This is not a CansonXL notebook, but it looks like one. It's actually just a knockoff I picked up at Walmart, and it's adequate. It's adequate to the task, definitely. I think that there is a place for using these less expensive notebooks. Like, I don't know what everybody was on about only cotton paper and stuff like that. Like, this is fine for just having some fun in the garden. People are being altogether, I think, too precious. And hopefully I conveyed that in that other video of mine that perhaps you saw or perhaps you didn't. So I'm now going in with a smaller round brush, just jabbing in some yellow. I can't even remember what yellow this is, but it's not lemon yellow. It's the other one that they give you in the split primary Cotman set. And you know, everything looks chaotic in my colors here, and that's because it is. But believe it or not, I know what most of them are. It's so funny. So I'm going in here with just some blue to mix it up with the pink and make it kind of purplish. But I'm being very loose about this whole thing. Like, I'm just here having fun. When did YouTube watercolor become so serious? Why can't we just have fun? And what I'm going to go in now is with just some green from Roman Schmal's Urban Sketcher mini palette. I think that that's the full name of this. And this is such a pretty green that they have in here. So I'm just, again, dropping in some color to evoke this leaf, which I didn't draw. I didn't draw it at all. Here it is, the Rose of Sharon flower with a little leaf poking down. So this is just kind of a last minute addition. And I really like how it all turned out. I'm lucky to have this private space for me to do some watercolor painting. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Please do like and subscribe if you're new here. Oh, this turned out really cute. See you soon.